My name's Stephanie. I'm the Senior Vice President for the Urban Land Institute, and I run the Corporate Partnerships Department for the region. So I was, from the beginning, I was born in Hong Kong, but I grew up in Toronto. I moved shortly after to Hong Kong after I graduated and started my career at a boutique publishing firm. I stayed there for quite some time until I decided I wanted to check out what life was like at a larger corporation, and joined an MNC doing internal comms. After a while, a really exciting opportunity came up within my network of friends, actually, and it was to join a small organization expanding in Hong Kong. I would be the third full-time employee on a regional team, and that to me was really exciting. That to me sounded like something where I could roll up my sleeves and be a bit more entrepreneurial in. So I took the opportunity, and that's when I joined the Urban Land Institute. It was, in fact, definitely very entrepreneurial, given that we were so new in Asia Pacific. It really gave us a lot of bandwidth to be creative and really, roll up our sleeves and just do the things that we can do to help grow the brand presence and membership across Asia. I actually joined as a senior associate within the organization, and then slowly, built my experience and then helped develop the corporate partnership program, which is what we have today that I run for the region. This entails, my job really entails talking to a lot of senior leaders and firms and building a strategic engagement opportunity for them across our platform and helping them increase their brand exposure and engagement across our firm. So it's a very, eclectic past experiences that I think I brought to the table, but I definitely think that they've helped one another. I think it helps build my experience in what I do today. It strengthened a lot of my interpersonal skills, but also my resourcefulness, given that I was going from small to large and really figuring out everything in between. These are, all the different roles I think definitely helped strengthen my own personality as well. And I actually didn't say, but I did move to Singapore about 5.5 years ago, and I'm also a mom to a 3.5-year-old boy. So it's been a lot of stuff happening over the past 10 years of my career. Well, I'll definitely talk about my industry. Real estate was new to me when I first joined. I'm learning so much, and I'm still enjoying learning about it because I didn't realize how much real estate impacted everyone's lives, and how much it impacts communities and, how people live, work, and play. It plays such a huge part. And this has been really exciting and fun about this industry. It's ever evolving. So I want to say, some of the trends our members have definitely just been discussing in real estate have been on, the culture of work, the future of work, where do people work, how people collaborate, do we still need offices anymore with so much working from home, real estate and technology, prop tech, very big area in real estate right now. Real estate's traditionally very slow in adopting tech. We're normally called the dinosaurs, but I think with the emergence of prop tech, it's really been disrupting the industry. So things like big data, collecting consumer data and how you utilize it, looking at the trends to help you make better and more informed decisions, whether it's from tenant mix to placemaking to how your buildings perform to prevent issues further down the line. And then on top of that, you're now mixing in Zoom and Slack and all these other communication channels that are supposed to increase and drive productivity in this new culture of work. Another topic that's really relevant for us now is resilience. With the pandemic, I think what's truly emerged are some resilient sectors, from multifamily residential to logistics and data centers and, looking at global sustainability issues, which definitely been heightened because of the pandemic. And from human health to climate change, with resilience, the big key topic right now and a major trend is on ESG. So ESG is the environmental, social, and corporate governance. Those are the three key factors in measuring sustainability and social impact of an investment on a company. This is usually driven by regulators and governments and now private investors and owners as well as occupiers. But, everyone's seeking more transparency. They want clarity on these ESG performance factors. And, for investors, this used to be a nice to have, but now it's really a key criteria in how they, make their investment decision making. So that's definitely another area. And then, finally, probably the future of retail. Probably can't escape, this trend that is emerging, which is the future of retail. Online shopping was already disrupting, in-person retail shopping malls and whatnot. But, the pandemic has definitely accelerated, or created this need for so many e-commerce platforms, not only amongst retail businesses, but amongst retail developers and owners. Like, this really is one of the keys to their retention and, to support their overall business strategy. So I think one thing that is really, is true is that everyone has to remain flexible and agile, because it's an ever evolving industry. So that's probably what we're seeing from a trends perspective. But I definitely have some things I wish I knew, I guess, when I was starting. Don't be afraid to try something new. Different, I think sometimes we all have this idea in our mind of what we want or what kind of job we want to have in the future, and we miss out on a lot of opportunities, along the way. And I think these opportunities that lead you to your ultimate goal will benefit you in the end, because you'll learn new skills, you'll learn more about yourself, or maybe you learn a skill you never knew you needed. The second thing I want to say is, similar to the first one, which is, always say yes. Stay curious, stay humble, always be genuine. Don't be afraid to ask for help or to be wrong, but just be prepared. And, there's no shame in asking others for help or when you're overwhelmed, but definitely have your own insights and ideas to bring to the table, but don't be afraid to be wrong. And lastly, I guess this is, I think they all interrelate all of my key learnings, which is really, take ownership in what you do. Whether it's a big project, small project, whether you're right or wrong and you make mistakes, you're definitely going to learn something along the way and hopefully help you become a better leader in the future. Exactly. But you have to come to the table with,
Absolutely.
I actually moved to Singapore with my job. Like, I moved with ULI, but it wasn't because of my job that I moved. My husband actually got a job here and I asked to move. Luckily I had a regional role and I did travel to Singapore for work, but, it was one of those things where I came to the table prepared with, this is what will happen if I move to Singapore. We're expanding into the region. These are the things that I could do when I'm here. And if I didn't have that ask, I might have had to leave the job that I'm in now because we had to, support my husband's career. So it definitely is one of those things where, they could say no and maybe we'll figure out something else. But if you don't ask, then you'll never know. But I think key learnings, probably from a women's perspective, I guess, since we are, speaking for your magazine that is Women Inspire Women, it's to believe that we can have it all, but just not all at the same time. So we definitely need to be kinder to ourselves along the way. The second is, we always hear to never stop learning. And I'm 100% believer in that. But I always have to remind myself to never stop listening. Because if you're not listening, whether it's to ourselves or to another person's perspective, we're not growing either. And then I guess finally is, always assume positive intent. We don't know everyone's situation. We don't know what everyone's story or background is. So just always be kind.